Design in a social context refers to designs that consciously focus on employing a sustainable approach to improving or maintaining social circumstances. Designers will focus on human rights issues, ergonomic and anthropometric design, HIV awareness, and human-centered design in general. Human rights issues have always been in the center of the design world. These designs include access to food, clean water, housing, and education. There are many designers who have tackled these issues in South Africa, but also across the world. When we look at the Design in Durban 10x10 low-cost housing project that aims to stimulate alternative solutions to housing, we see exactly how designers embrace human rights. 10 architectural teams composed of hand-picked South Africans paired with international alumni of previous conferences were challenged with a pro bono project. The objective was to come up with affordable, attractive, and innovative responses to the urgent need to house and urban poor. Sustainable design, construction, and operation principles were encouraged. The first qualifying solution came from Luyanda Mpalwa of MMA Architects. MMA's design for a single-family home leveraged the extremely tight budget by borrowing elements from indigenous mud and wattle building techniques. In September 2008, MMA's design won the Curry Stone Design Prize, an international award that recognizes creative solutions with the power and potential to improve our lives and the world in which we live. Design in Durban constructed 10 such houses in Freedom Park, a township in Greater Cape Town, with materials sponsored by PG Bison. Designers also focus on the human right to clean and running water. Designed in Africa for Africa by Peter and Jonker, the 90-liter Hippo water roller enables women, children, and the elderly to collect 5 times more water than a single bucket by simply rolling it along the ground. It was specifically designed for use in tough rural conditions with a long lifespan of 5 to 7 years, often much longer. Using the Hippo water roller results in many social benefits, most of which are immediate. You can just imagine the impact that carrying such a load of water will have on your body, and this was one of the main ideas behind the Hippo water roller. Designs focus on human rights issues usually also ensure equitable access. If you look at MMA Architects, it encourages equitable access to housing, and the Hippo water roller encourages equitable access to water. Equitable access provides groups of people access to resources, services, and programs that would not otherwise be available to them due to disadvantages created over time resulting from many factors including marginalization, racism, discrimination, and oppression. Social regeneration has become of great importance in society today. Social regeneration is the process of tackling the social problems that lead to deprivation, such as crime and drugs. The process is different from physical regeneration, which tackles rundown buildings and communal areas, and economic regeneration, which is aimed at creating jobs and wealth. The 50 Problems in 50 Days project by Peter Smart tackles a lot of problems needing social regeneration. Peter Smart explores the limits of design's ability to solve social problems, big and small. To do this, he attempted to solve 50 problems in 50 days using design. The nightlight is one of the examples of the 50 problems in 50 days project, which was an intervention where small sensors light half the store when movement is detected outside. The four surrounding stores also begin to fade up to deter potential criminals and provide visibility. Ergonomics and anthropometrics play a vital role in any design, but in the social context, it focuses a designer's attention of the needs of humans and how their bodies interact with the environments, products, services around them. Anthropometrics is the systematic collection and correlation of measurements of the human body. Designs using the application thereof is called human engineering. This was pioneered by Henry Dreyfus. Ergonomics, on the other hand, is the study of how people relate physically to their living environments. The study of how to make manufactured products physically user-friendly. The study of the relationship between the human body and the total environment in which it lives. Ergonomics, designing the interface between humans and the designed objects, grips, seating, comfort, and optimal performance, is a scientific discipline concerned with designing according to the human needs and the profession that applies theory, principles, data, and methods to design in order to optimize human well-being and overall system performance. Thai Design Studio is very well known for their ergonomic and anthropometric designs. The pony chair is just but one of the examples. The pony chair is a multifunctional furniture designed for grade R learners and young kids. Developed as a CSR project for all office furniture, the goal is to provide disadvantaged schools that have limited space with a space-efficient solution while addressing the need for early childhood development as a fun and playful pony. Globalization is becoming an ever-increasing concept designers have to deal with when designing. It is growth to a global or worldwide scale. A great example of a global project is IDEO.org and Unilever's partnership in the Water and Sanitation for Urban Poor and the Global Alliance for Improved Nutrition, which designs scalable businesses in Kenya selling water alongside hygiene and nutrition products. This project was called Smart Life. HIV awareness is of great importance in South Africa. HIV awareness is the state or condition of being aware, having knowledge and consciousness of HIV and AIDS. The object of the information drive is to raise awareness of the spread of HIV and AIDS. Some of the projects that fall into this category can be quite shocking. However, it is through this type of shock advertisement that people are reached and that it really makes an impact on them. HIV awareness is the main focus of the One Life campaign. Bristol Mayer and Squab designed print ads and posters using shock tactics to get their message across. The campaign aimed to encourage everyone, gay, straight, male, female, to get tested for HIV. This is a human-centered design, and human-centered designs is a process that has been used for decades to create new solutions to design challenges. The process helps people to hear the needs of the people and communities they're designing for, to create innovative approaches to meet these needs and deliver solutions that work in specific cultural and economic contexts. Human-centered design is design that places the user at the center of the design process. Our society has become a society where bias and prejudice are prevalent. Prejudice is a preconceived idea of a group of people or one person not based on facts or reason. Fabrica or United Colors of Benetton are well known for their awareness campaigns that speak against bias and prejudice. In Fabrica's #IBelongs advertising campaign, they make use of the idea of giving nationless people opportunities. In today's society, many people would assume people without a nationality have no say or representation of a country without observing the evidence. They could have a valid reason for being stateless. If we look at Syria and the refugees from Syria, there was a huge amount of bias and prejudice against those refugees. A lot of those countries could, however, rather have employed some of the doctors, engineers, teachers, and scientists who were among the refugees. As previously said, globalization is the development and integration of all aspects of society, and the economy are very important in order to improve the global economy. Globalization appears in the I Belong design because the concept behind the initiative is helping improve the global economy. By giving nationless people opportunities, they will be able to use their knowledge and skills to benefit businesses and the economy of the country where they reside. Human-centered design is designing for people and making sure the design is functional and practical. Fabrica had to carefully study the end viewer and audience to identify a way to get the message across. Also, careful study of the social problem and specific religion would have been a big research aspect of the design that would have had to be done before any planning or designing could ever have started. Therefore, it is safe to say that I Belong is a human-centered design initiative. A concept in the social context that we see more and more often these days is gentrification. Gentrification is generally known to be rebuilding poorer residential areas by more affluent people to raise the property prices. Although this seems like a positive initiative, this can also have a detrimental effect on the people already living there. With raising property prices, those people might not be able to live in the area anymore due to affordability. In South Africa, the phenomenon of gentrification is commonly associated with the resurrection of downtown Johannesburg and the rebirth of Woodstock in Cape Town. Both areas share a common denominator for gentrification: a growing middle class with disposable income and a taste for all things designer. And both fail to support government's claim that it is creating inclusive cities for all. A more positive intervention would be urban acupuncture. Urban acupuncture is a socio-environmental theory that combines contemporary urban design with the traditional Chinese acupuncture. It uses small-scale interventions to transform the larger urban context. Sites are selected through analysis of aggregate social, economic, and ecological factors and are developed through a dialogue between designers and the community. Just as the practice of acupuncture is aimed at relieving stress in the human body, the goal of urban acupuncture is to relieve stress in the built environment. Urban acupuncture is intended to produce small-scale but socially catalytic interventions in the urban fabric. Makeka Design Labs was responsible for the upbuild of the Cape Town station with Jacupa and Camry. The intervention on Strand Street is more akin to the urban scaling device than habitable architecture, and is seen as an act to humanize and bring a tactile quality to the neo-modern apartheid-inspired architecture of Cape Town Station. Historically subservient to the dictates of rail-dominant ideology, the design actively seeks to create a user-centric solution for the integration and facelift for the deck, originally envisaged as part of an agreed-upon upgrade for the World Cup 2010 and to enhance the public environment in the CBD. This upgrade also secured a safer environment around the station. Another important term in the social context is design activism or design interventions. It is creating social change and social awareness in a creative manner. Tsai Design Studio designed the nested bunk bed, which creates more than one sleeping space in crowded areas. This is a design intervention or activism with a focus on creating better sleeping conditions in crowded township housing. Other examples you can link to the key concepts and terms include Tsai Design Studio's Submarine Vissershoek School, which is a shipping container that was upcycled into classrooms. The slanted roof allows for easy airflow. The windows and the glass doors allow for natural light. This became a playground for children who never had school classrooms before. XYZ is well known for their socket design. The socket is a soccer ball that kids can play, and it works with kinetic energy. After the kids have played, mom can plug in either her cell phone or a light to use within the house that doesn't have electricity in it. The second use packaging by Fuse Project is water bottle designs, and the water bottles can be reused by kids to play with, almost like building blocks. Ardmore employs local people to create ceramics that are then sold on the global market. A lot of these designs are created by men and women who are HIV positive and struggling.